Hi everybody, I'm Keisha from Team Yancey vlog series, and we are going to bring you guys week 26 for our pregnancy vlog. We are going to talk about in this episode week 25 and 26 because that's what's been going on. So one thing that I did not expect to be talking about during this series or during my pregnancy that I'll just jump into first is looking for a job while you're pregnant. Yeah, so I've just through many circumstances, if you guys watch our vlog, I believe I talked about it probably a little bit after it happened. Been in retail forever. The company I was with most recently closed, and then maybe like 3 or 4 weeks later we found out we were pregnant. So I was taking some time off, and you know, wanted to continue to take time off until the baby came, but just due to some different circumstances and just where we are, just decided for me to go back to work and also switch fields too. So yeah, obviously I'm, you know, pregnant and, you know, most people aren't going to want to hire someone if they're noticeably pregnant. So I was just doing some, you know, looking up online, looking at different pregnancy bloggers and people who I guess have experienced it before. Looked on the Baby Center app, and they have like a community where they talk about different things that you can just look up and see what other moms went through. And it is a little bit common, or it's, you know, obviously something that other people have to do or have done before. So something for me that, like I said, didn't expect myself to do it, especially at the time I was, I guess, going into week 24 and 26, so like I'm sorry, 24 and 25. So just jumping into my, you know, six months of pregnancy and looking for a job. So obviously when you are job hunting, you don't really want to show that you're pregnant. So what I did was I had to, you know, obviously wear like a loose fit top, and it was like a button-down shirt. One of the tops that I went on for one of the interviews actually had like a not a bow tie, but like a tie that kind of comes down. So obviously I just wore things that were gonna mask the belly, had like a sweater on over it, so you really couldn't tell. Wore heels to help elongate knee and all that stuff. So just different little, I guess, styling techniques to try to hide and mask the belly. Obviously they never asked during the interview if I was pregnant or anything like that, so it's something that you know, I never saw myself doing, but I know that I'm more than capable of doing this new job that I'm entering into, which I start actually in a few days or next week. But I, you know, wanted them to know, or want them to know, that I'm capable of doing the job even though I'm pregnant, and I don't want to be, I guess, discriminated on for being pregnant and people thinking like, oh, you know, she's not gonna be able to do it, or, you know, she may be calling out because she's not feeling well, blah blah. I was pregnant before, worked through the whole pregnancy almost until I gave birth, so I'm quite capable of doing it. But like I said, just for any moms out there who may have to go through that, I actually spoke to my step-sister-in-law. She did the same thing. She was actually further along than I was when she looked for a job when she was pregnant. I want to say she was 7 months, and she did end up getting the job. So it's something that, you know, depending on what happens in your life or where you are, just that may have to happen. So if you are looking for a job and you're pregnant, I wish you the very best of luck. Depending on the job field, the length of the contract, and, you know, just wherever your field is, you know, maybe you do want to tell them up front, or maybe you want to wait a little bit until you tell them, until after your interview process and after you get hired. But whatever the case is, just definitely be encouraged with that and know that you're not alone. You're not the only one who's pregnant and in need of a new job or switching fields or something like that, because obviously these things happen. And you know, you want to set yourself up for success even for after baby too. So sometimes starting a new job while you're pregnant can help you while you're going on leave, and then you can come back to working in your new field. So it can be done. It has been done, and thankfully I did get the position. I'll keep you guys updated if anything changes, or just how I'm progressing with now being back to work further along my pregnancy. But I'm excited, and I can't wait to see you know, what's going to happen, I guess, later on towards the end of this journey in my new work field. Now, next subject is I'm going to talk to you guys about something that I didn't know had a name, but after, I think I was on Baby Center just, I guess, looking up different things that are going on within this time frame of pregnancy. It actually had a name, and I was like, wow, I didn't know it was called something. But it's called, I guess, the nesting phase, or the nesting stage of pregnancy. And honestly, it could probably even just be motherhood or parenthood too. But if you think about the word nesting, you think about, you know, birds and animals and stuff like that that are preparing their nest for when, I guess, their egg hatches. That's kind of the same concept. So it's something that, you know, not everyone may get it, but it's basically just kind of like a mental switch that goes off in your head, where you're, you know, automatically just switching over to, oh my God, you know, I'm having a baby in the next 3 months or the next, you know, some odd weeks or whatever. I need to get this together. I need to start preparing meals. I need to organize a closet. I need to, you know, get everything lined up. And it's just the term nesting, because you're preparing your nest for your new arrival, which obviously when the baby comes, you want to have as much as you possibly can lined up, just so that it can make it more of a smooth transition. So I felt myself going through this, I guess last week, and I was organizing my son Logan, his closet, and just putting some of his clothes away. And you know, we're going to use his closet to put some of Olivia's stuff in while we're transitioning into moving. So I was just thinking of, you know, how can I maximize this space? I'm going to put this here and this over here, and I'm going to, you know, empty out the closet and put all of his stuff somewhere. So it's just, like I said, just a mental switch that goes off. And I've also been just looking like on Pinterest for different meal prep ideas, so that I can start to think or plan, or just get more of a variety of meals in my head, so that it's like, okay, once Olivia comes, maybe I can, you know, have this planned out for the week, so that I'm not trying to scrounge around trying to find something for us to eat while, you know, I'm breastfeeding and trying to get her to sleep, and just all this stuff that I'm going to be brand new to with having, I'm at that point, 2 kids, which you know, it's going to be a transition. But like I said, it's just a phase in your pregnancy. If you, like I said, some people don't get it, some people do get it. It's just kind of like a mental switch, which I think all moms definitely have that time frame when they're just like, oh my God, it just hits you like you're, you know, you're bringing another life into the world, you're bringing your first life into the world, just to kind of prepare yourself for and like I said, just to make it more of a smooth transition. So definitely have had that happen within the last week, which has been interesting. Can't really remember. I'm pretty sure I probably did have the same thing happen with Logan, but at that time I was working like crazy and working like a dog. So in the state of New Jersey, you're able to take up to 4 weeks before your due date. So it was funny because with Logan, I took the 4 weeks before. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll have time to do this and the third. We were gonna go check out some classes. We were gonna do more things to prepare. Literally a week after being on leave is when Logan was born. So I don't think I really got to experience the nesting phase or stage too much with him or with that pregnancy. But during this time frame, I have had that. Please let me know if any of you have heard that before. I've never heard it or put in that term, but definitely can recognize the mental switch. So if you've seen that, heard that, if you've experienced it, let me know what you've done in the comments below to prepare and to nest for your new arrival that's coming. It's been interesting, but it's cool. Next, we are going to talk about something that I have had during the last pregnancy with Logan, and have just recently started to experience now that I'm well into my 6th month, which is more back pain and something which, you know, you can get even when you're not pregnant, which is sciatica. So with Logan, I was working in retail. I was on my feet constantly. Obviously, when your belly is expanding and growing, it changes your, you know, posture, how you walk, how you stand, and all of that. And just in general, just the growing belly that you have, and just pressure it puts on your uterus and on your, you know, organs and stuff like that. All of that can change your, obviously, how your back feels. It can change your posture, which can make it very, very uncomfortable, and can also cause sciatica, which is a nerve which can be, I don't want to say it's like pinched or anything like that, but it can be affected during this time frame. And I believe it runs from like your lower back to your rear end, and I think also like all the way through your hips too. So that's something that I recently have been starting to feel, especially as my belly grows, and I definitely can't sleep on my stomach anymore, and I have to like continuously sleep on either my left side or my right side. And you know, just that pressure, and you feel it when you wake up, or you feel it after you're walking for long periods of time. Even right now, like my lower back is a little sore because we just came from you know, just walking around all day long. But yeah, sciatica. So like I said, something that you can get even when you're not pregnant. And it's funny because even after my last pregnancy with Logan, I still would feel the symptoms, or like sometimes like those little sharp tings or those sharp pains of sciatica even after he was born. So you know, is after you have a baby, unfortunately your body doesn't go back to normal as far as like certain things like that, or certain things that can kind of just like come up every now and again. But during this time frame, like I said, we're in week 26. I have started to feel those sciatica pains, or those like little nerve pains, and also just pain in lower back, pain in hips. Something that helps obviously is stretching. I don't want to take any medicine for this, or try to just, you know, be popping Tylenol all the time, or popping just stuff to try to alleviate the pain. So stretching can help. We actually have one of those big exercise balls, so there's different exercises that you could do on there that can try to help too. You can, you know, just try to, I guess, just like thrust and open up your hip muscles and your pelvic muscles to help to honestly prepare for your belly to continue to grow. I have one of those big body pillows that I'm sure many of you have seen before, where it's like kind of shaped like a big C, but you can you know, curve it in different directions, and you can sleep. So I think I'm going to start to sleep with that a little bit more often, or kind of break it out from the last pregnancy, and see if that helps as far as when I'm sleeping, just to kind of just, like I said, give a little bit of less pressure on my hips from sleeping on my left side and my right side. But yeah, that's something that unfortunately I've started to experience, but I know that it can be common. Obviously, please, if it's something that you feel is inhibiting you from, you know, walking period, or it's inhibiting you in a way that you really can't do a lot, I would definitely talk to your doctor, your OB, and they may even send you to a chiropractor or something like that to try to figure out what's going on. But it's common with pregnancy, so don't feel, you know, weird or like you're the only one who's going through soreness. I'm sure you've seen many women, once they get later in the pregnancy, with the pregnancy waddle. Like, that's real. Your body is completely different now that you have this large, you know, surface, this large circumference on the front of your body that you didn't have before. So you're gonna walk and move completely different. So just, you know, be prepared for that to come if this is your first pregnancy, or even if it's your second, third, or fourth pregnancy and you've never had it before. Please know that every pregnancy is different, so I hope that you don't get it, but if you do, just know that it's normal. And there are things, like I said, stretches, exercises that you can do to try to alleviate the pain and the pressure. Lastly, the thing that I've been experiencing the past couple weeks that has progressed more and more have been daily headaches. So I guess in the beginning of your pregnancy, when you first find out you're pregnant, in those first few weeks, and probably even just your first trimester, you'll get a lot of headaches because of just that abrupt shift in hormones. You may even experience some dizziness, but they do say that that can go away and then come back towards the, I guess, middle / end of your pregnancy, which I've been experiencing the past few weeks. So just periods of dizziness, or just a constant, I guess, I don't want to say head pressure, but just headache feeling on a daily basis. Again, I'm not the kind of person where I like to take something or pop a pill just because, so I try not to do that. I'm sure your doctor wouldn't recommend it, but it can be because, again, those hormones are shifting again, or it can also come from dehydration. It could come from some of the soreness that you may be experiencing, like I was just talking about the sciatica and the pressure and the new changes on your belly and your back. So having those headaches can come from that. Just coping with it. It's not unbearable, but it's something that's there, and it's something that I noticed. So for me, you know, just try to make sure that if I have a second, I can close my eyes for like a minute to try to just like regroup my head and see if that helps a little bit. For me, I actually wear glasses, so if I have my glasses too long, or if I don't have them on at all, that can obviously change it too. But other than that, I just try to bear through it as best as I possibly can. Like I said, it's not unbearable. If it did get to that point, I would talk to my doctor, my OB about it, just to see if it's anything that I can do. Drinking more water, I always try now that it's summertime, especially, to try to make sure that I have enough water in my system, because like I said, that can come from dehydration too. And you know, just being pregnant, you want to have enough water in your system anyway, so that's something that can cause it. But just making sure that you're doing all the little things that you can do to help it, so that it's not that unbearable or that painful. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining us on week 26 for our pregnancy vlog series. Again, my name is Keisha. We will be bringing you guys these episodes every 2 weeks, so be on the lookout for week 28 coming up. And if you guys didn't already know, our regular Team Yancey series is coming back. So be on the lookout. We will be posting those every Monday and Thursday for our regular vlog. We'll have some fun stuff that we're doing for the holiday weekend. It's 4th of July. Woo! So you guys get to see some of the fun stuff that we did for that weekend, and just all kinds of stuff in our daily life that's going on outside of the pregnancy. And we have some new videos for Creating with Keisha. So if you haven't seen that channel, make sure that you look that up. Creating with the K, and Creating with Keisha is the channel. And some fun videos on there are up and are coming too. So thank you guys for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this video and to our channel. We appreciate you guys. Peace.